So, do we want a low ticket funnel in the front end or a freebie lead magnet in the front end? You're probably confused because Alex Hermosi says that you give away stuff for free before you ask for a sale. Gary Vaynerchuk says the same, but then you also have these ads that are passing on your newsfeed telling you that low ticket front end is the way to go, which is, in other words, it's called a self-liquidating offer. It will help you pay for your ads and you can perpetuate running ads because you have a low ticket in the front end that is generating cash for you, and thus you can put that back in meta ads. Well, I have been debating on that one for as long as I could remember until I stood by these principles. So let's talk about freebie lead magnets first. I usually recommend this for clients who have never run ads before just yet, and they have barely, like, little to no followers. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that you have brand awareness campaigns before you ask for any sort of sale. The reason for that, of course, you're a stranger, people don't know you, don't like you, don't trust you, and so you want them to have sort of like a brand awareness and have people see the value that you can offer to the world. At the same time, if this is your first time running an ad, that brand awareness campaign is going to help your pixel cook, meaning your ads manager would understand what people you are trying to target, who are these people that you want to get more information from, ask to buy, all these things. You are basically buying data before you ask for a sale, which is definitely helpful. It's going to be easier for the algorithm in the next coming campaigns to get the person that you want to sell to or the lead that you're trying to get. Now, there are people that are saying, okay, like freebies are dead because, you're just going to be attracting freebie seekers and it's not going to get you any sort of like ROI whatsoever. You want to double check on your offer to answer that very question. Is it specific enough? Is it solving a micro problem rather than a big one? Because if it's solving a really huge problem, that's the reason why your people are not proceeding to your next product, which is usually paid, right? So the structure that people always tell you is that have a freebie or a lead magnet on the front end and then put a nurture email sequence and then promote stuff at the end. While that could be true, the problem is sometimes we overteach or give so much in our freebie that people don't really need to buy anymore because, duh, they already got it from your free stuff. What you want to do is you want to solve a micro problem that leads to another problem. That's how you can get people to ascend to your next thing. And that's also how you can avoid freebie seekers because you would want to target the people that are solving that very problem. Freebie seekers usually come from entry level and beginner people in your ICP. That is why you want to find a lead magnet that is somewhere in the middle of your roadmap. Pull that out, solve a micro problem, and then get them to ascend to the next thing. This is where the offer usually matters the most. You have to understand your offer into the deepest trenches possible in order to deliver a lead magnet that speaks exactly to the person that you want to target. And again, entry level and beginner people, naturally they're going to want to get anything that is free because if they are entry level or beginner, they're going to get all the resources that they need. And so you want to avoid them and move past them a little bit, scoot a little over here. Right? And then if your freebie lead magnet is a webinar, you want to shorten that webinar from the original 90 minutes to 30 minutes. And if you can shorten it further than that, then that's awesome. Because while webinars are definitely effective, it's one of the best ways to get signups and get students and get buyers for your course. People's attention span nowadays are way, way shorter. And so they just want you to get to the point because there's still a lot of places out there that they can get information from. So you want to be short, sweet, have a 30-minute video that's showcasing your personality, your skill, most especially, and then demonstrate what you can do before you actually pitch. So I like to always tell my clients to shorten the webinar from 90 minutes to 30 minutes as much as possible, and then have a PDF or some sort of like a worksheet to pair that with, so that you have two avenues to be able to pitch to them. One, the video. Next thing is the PDF. When they open it, there's a pitch at the end. That's the best way to go. And then you also follow up with the email nurture sequence, or if you have automations like Instagram DMs, that would also be a great way to follow up with them. Freebies are also the best way for people who do not know how to sell as much or are very much shy when it comes to selling, because you are providing value in a front end that will naturally pitch the person to your next product. It's the trust that you are leveraging here, especially if you don't know how to sell right from the get-go. So like, for example, with me, I love to teach. I could probably use a little bit of help when it comes to sales, because I wouldn't say that that's my strong suit, but I can definitely deliver and demonstrate to you what I can do so that eventually you can buy from me. Now, if you're like that, because you're like, I'm not really sure how to pitch, I don't know how to sell, it feels weird, feels awkward, I'm not used to selling, well, that is why you need a freebie, because you are leveraging trust and likableness or likeness in order to be able to sell. And naturally, when a person gets value from you, a lot of them actually gives in and actually buys, because they feel like they owe you in a lot of ways. And so that is why you would be a great person to run a freebie. Just again, there is a science and art to creating the right freebie product to get them to ascend to the next thing. Now, let us go to a low ticket products or self-liquidating offers. Now, if you're new here, if you don't know what the marketing jargons are, these are the products that are being sold for from $7 to $47. Anything that is less than $50 or sometimes even less than $100. They put that in a front end, run ads to it, and get people to buy, and eventually they upsell those people to something of a higher price. Now, these are great for people who are really good in creating ads. Okay, so if you have been a seasoned salesman and you're really good at pitching, you know how to structure your ad creatives in a way where it's giving value and then at the same time being able to sell and pitch them enough for them to actually take action, well, this is where the self-liquidating offers work. I've seen so many people that are doing this, and the reason why they are able to sell is because when you look at their ad creatives, it's freaking good. Like, it activates and agitates the problem that you have as an ICP, that you would want to click and buy, because it seems to you rather, that their ad is really telling you that, hey, this is your problem, you have to solve this like right now. And that's the reason why you click to buy. Now, again, that very person that's running a self-liquidating offer would have multiple creatives. And so if you were not targeted with the first one, they're going to come back on your newsfeed and target you with something else. Still, their skill of creating really good ads is what they're trying to leverage in here. And so if you are a good salesman, definitely I would want to ask for you to go and do a self-liquidating offer right away. Even if, for example, you don't have followers, if you know for a fact that you can sell, well, self-liquidating offer is the way to go. And I know how other people are going to tell you like, hey, you should really do SLOs right away or low ticket right away because then you can use this for ads whatsoever. Well, I used to also think about that very fact. But then I realized that each person's skill is really different. There are people that can sell to you right away. There are also people that don't know how to sell. And it really depends on the person's ability to be able to create ads, especially post Andromeda. So the thing with the new Meta ads update is before, what people do or media buyers do is they select the audience and then create ad creatives for those audience. Now it's flipped. What Andromeda does is that they ask for you to have different, multiple, varied ad creatives, and those ad creatives get pushed to different sorts of pockets of audiences. That's how the algorithm works now. It's very similar to, like, for example, Instagram, how Instagram Reels are being set up. So if you, for example, like this very topic, let's just say motivational quotes and entrepreneurship, you get fed by more of that every single time you go down, right? And so basically that's what it looks like nowadays when it comes to Andromeda. This is why for businesses or courses that have really huge ICPs, it's going to require for them really huge ad budgets to be able to reach those pockets of audiences because they're generalists. And this is why niching down is the way to go. I don't care what people say that you are the niche, whatever bullshit. You're going to want to have a really specific ICP because it saves you money. And at the same time, it's going to be a lot easier for you to record ad creatives because you are targeting very specific people. And so going back to the fact that self-liquidating offers can actually help you bring in cash, it's not always correct. It's your first time running ads, your pixel still has to cook, and you're going to want to buy data from Meta in order to help that algorithm study and understand who your ICP is. Once you have those ad creatives that are really good that can sell to the people directly, well, you can then add order bumps and then upsells that can increase added order cart value so that even if you have negative days, those days where you have, let's say, really good order bump and upsell takes can be carried over to your negative days, which is great. Right? So that is one thing that you can do. Now, what if you really are tight on budget and you want to have your evergreen funnel in a way where it self-liquidates? Well, there's nothing better than practice. You're going to want to observe the ads that are passing on our newsfeed that are selling low ticket products or doing self-liquidating funnels, study them and maybe use the hook that they have used before and observe the ads that they have been creating. How can you modify that into your very own ICP and use that for your own creatives? So the conclusion of this very video is that there is no best way in order to create an evergreen funnel. It really is up to you if you want to have a lead magnet on front end or a self-liquidating offer on front end. It really depends on your goals and your ability to be able to sell, or if you have the time, effort, energy, and ads capital in order to practice selling so that you can have a self-liquidating offer in the front end. So I hope that this has been clearer for you. You are now finally able to decide what you're going to do if you want a lead magnet front end or if you want a low ticket front end. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.